what to do with my defined benefit supplement or my DBS. And that's kind of that side fund that you have. If you look at your annual statement from CalSTRS, what you've been doing for the last 10 years, 2% or 1/4 of your 8% has been going into this side fund. Now that is ending as of December 31st of this year for that 2%. Now let me stress though, but if you, let's say you're full-time and you work summer school, you cannot with STRS get more than 1 full year of service credit in any 1 year. So if you're teaching an overload or something, that money that in this case, after this year, that 8% that would normally go into CalSTRS is going to go into that DBS. But if you've been teaching full-time, say for the last 10 years, your DBS might be in the neighborhood of around $15,000 to $30,000, depending on your income. Again, you want to look at your statement. You basically have 3 options to take that money out. You can either take it as a lump sum benefit, and they'll just say, here's your 15 grand, pay the taxes. 2, you can take a monthly annuity payout option from CalSTRS. They'll calculate it for you. Or the third option is still the rollover, but you could roll that over into a qualified plan like your 403B or an IRA. And like I just did that for one of my clients who worked for the state, we just took his DBS and rolled it over into his 403B for him. Yeah, if you can push your button there.
Can it be rolled over to a Roth IRA?
It can be, yes, because the new law does allow money to be directly rolled into a Roth IRA. It didn't used to be that way, but remember, if you do that, you've got to pay taxes all on it up front. And you have to separate from service. So it's basically, it's when you're retiring. So if you're still teaching, you can't say, hey, I want these funds. So it's kind of that one-time election that you have when you retire. But you can do that, yes. Yeah, if you push.
Oh, I'm sorry. Does one get a DBS automatically? Because I don't remember when I was hired that there was any conversation about it.
You do get it automatically because starting in 2001 till December 31st of 2010, automatically 2%. Again, it's because what you remember from when I was saying earlier, the of the 8%, 2% automatically goes into the DBS. So the way you would know, again, how much is in your DBS is you have to look at what the look at your annual benefit statement that you get from CalSTRS.
Yeah. Does this mean that you have to make a decision at the end of this year? Is that?
No, good question. No, it still just stays in that account for you until you retire, and then you've got to make that decision at that point as to what you're going to do with that.
I have a question.
Okay.
If you wanted to receive that as a lump sum, can you wait a year later to receive it for tax purposes?
Well, it's kind of a two-part answer to that. It's Alice, right? First off is what you would want to do. If you wanted to do that, you would roll the money over into a qualified plan, an IRA, 403B or something. When you retire, then you would actually take it out of that plan that next year. But generally, and we might get into it a little bit at the end, generally you want to defer taxation. You don't have to, but depending on your tax bracket, then you have to look and say, does it make sense to take it all out that, that year or whatever else? Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions on the DBS? Yeah, if you can push your button back there.
So you said it's ending at the end of this year. Does that mean we have to do something with it? No.
No. Good question again. No. It just means that this 2% here is no longer going in as of 12/31/2010. So that money that's already there will just stay there until you retire. Again, it's only those overloads, or if you're a coach or something like that. See, it used to be before this went into effect, if you taught overloads or were a coach or something, nothing happened to that money. Now the good thing is it's going somewhere. So it allows you. So the thing is, your DBS account probably is not going to grow much other than the stated rate of return in there, which is, I don't know the exact number right off my head here, but it's stated every year as to what they do.